Hello, Speed Gaming. Whether it's early in the morning or late at night for you, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer League Invitational, Season 3. We're playing Week 5. It is Mystery, and we've already got our file select screen from Humbugh here, and we've got LockeCole on live on the right side. Forfeiters are us versus But We're Buddies. Coy, you want to talk about how that is going to work out for us here in Mystery?
Okay, so we already have some information. We are starting with boots. We can clearly see that on Humbug stream, and that guarantees that it will not be entrance rando. And then you can see the orange letters at the bottom, N6.0.032 or whatever. That means Randomizer. So there is some Randomizer setting, whether it's actual randomized enemies or just bosses. We don't know for sure, but something will be randomized. I guess that's all we know so far.
Figure out as we get into this seed. Of course, we've got a pair of very talented teams that may not have had as much success on the screen so far this season. Forfeiters of us with 2 wins so far, but we're buddies hanging on at 0 points. But this is Locke's chance to get back at Humbug tonight. I also want to introduce Yoinker's wife tonight. And of course, Coy helping me out here. I am Zeruvian. We're about to see a mystery, an overnight mystery, everybody.
Nobody ever schedules races this late, so I don't get to come much in the evening. Oh, it's standard. That's fun. The standard randomizer tends to be really, really punishing. So hopefully enemies aren't randomized.
Lonk, the boots are on your feet. Well, gee. So we don't have wild maps, as we see a quick map check from Locke's side. I saw a pendant.
Yeah, it was Green Pendant, Eastern Pendant Desert, and Red Crystal Hera, if I am able to understand that much information that quickly. I wouldn't trust me.
Word. Well, there's the sword.
Thanks, buddy. Is there vanilla swords? Is that an option?
It can be
okay,
vanilla
not
swords.
randomized enemies.
Well, we have a couple options for escape here, seeing as you already have 10 arrows to shoot. So what that tells us is we do know we don't have randomized enemies. We do have some form of boss shuffle. So we'll have to wait and see just what that entails later on.
You would also see the randomizer tag for like randomized health or damage, but those are not options for the league weights.
Could you imagine having randomized damage? Just going up Death Mountain, Cabbage hits you for 8 hearts.
You mean like if we had like a whole tournament dedicated to mystery seeds with all the worst settings as possible? I don't know who would do something like that.
Only one such tournament would exist.
That would be silly. No, league mystery settings are a bit friendlier than the POG Champion, but there are some possibilities for trolls.
And this is the 5th day. If you haven't seen some of the seeds this week, we've had some really quick ones, and we've had some really interesting ones that were not quite so quick, including some today.
Yeah, I calmed earlier today. It was less than an hour. Just a quick little pet seed. Kind of hoping for something longer this time.
Well, no one checks the menu anymore, but if they wanted to, we would be able to tell if they have a small or big key shuffle just based on what the menu is showing us. But this guard will be able to tell us once and for all whether we have big keys, and we do not. And no smalls either.
Cool. So no key sanities of any kind.
There's still that one-off chance that we could have wild compasses, but let's be real here.
Oh, is that separate from map?
Yeah. There's a 40% chance that any of the dungeon items could have been shuffled. Each. 40% each.
Well, so far, the upper path there.
Yeah, that upper path is slightly faster than walking your way around and going up that first auto stair.
Maybe less so if you bonk, though.
Yeah, I bought. Well,
You can grab the rail.
if you wall pump.
Oh, poor Locke. I mean, you don't get a lot of practice with this, right? Like, how often do you do?
It depends on how
Boots
much you play
start
casual
standard.
boots, because that's quite literally what this is so far.
Well, let's see. Let's see how practiced our runners are with this. There are lots of opportunities for key dashes in the back of Escape, but only those who are super practiced with this particular item set will be even attempting them. Have we seen the prize pack at all? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter since we have boots, but you know, you
One of
want
the
bombs for
guards
Kakariko.
dropped for Locke right before the boomerang chest. The guard dropped a single bomb, so that's a little bit of information. Of course, these ropes will share in the same prize pack, but we're not going to see anyone stop to kill a snake here.
Well, if it was the bomb prize pack, I would have, taken the time and gotten a couple bombs at least.
Oh well, heck yes! You get a 4-bomb or an 8-bomb drop, you're good for the pretty much all of Kakariko.
There is a bonk rock on the way to Kak that you could grab, which will have some guaranteed bombs in it. Wow. Plus, you could just buy some bombs with our gobs and gobs of money.
Well, money is not an object except when it's 2 of the checks that you open in the back of Escape.
E-dashing. Feels bad, man.
I thought for sure Humbugh was going to just dash into that switch. You can get that switch from the side if you dash into it. Oh, well, talking about dashing and moving fast, we have a hook shot.
Okay, so far we have just a regular standard seed with starting boots. Likely vanilla source, but I guess it could be randomized and just by chance got it on the uncle. We have no idea what our goal is, and we are not anywhere close to finding out. But it could be a random number of crystals, all dungeons, or pedestal.
All right. Hey, bombs from the tree. That's not a bad thing for Humbugh there. I would imagine Locke is going to have a similar luck.
Yeah, that would be their tier 2 pull, I believe.
Yeah, early lamp doesn't actually, you don't want to read into it too much. Just because lamp opens up so many different things. You already have a bow, so Eastern's actually on the table for us already.
Oh, Locke got hearts from his straight pull. I guess one of them at tier 3?
Yeah.
You almost never get tier 3. Like there's always one rat who bumps you somewhere, but I guess with boots it happens less.
There's your cape.
It's not
that's
an
probably
Agassiz.
one of the last things.
Don't
of course
be
not.
silly.
There's too many things open to us to call this an Agassiz right now.
It's probably an Agassiz.
Shh. I know chat wants it to be an Agassiz.
I mean, not even just like memeing or anything, but just having the items that get you access to Aga greatly increases the chances that you were playing an Agassiz. And then when you combine that with how you have the hookshot or the bow to go to places after Aga, and how we also don't have any of the other items we need for not doing Aga, it does seem like an Agassiz. But we'll wait until Kakariko's over to call it.
One thing that might change this a little bit for us, if you do see a glove, that opens up so many more checks that we can get. You see a book here, though. And that gives you desert. Get to the Boston Desert yet without that glove that I just mentioned, though.
You can see Locke there using those bonk rocks near the fortune teller to get a second bomb.
Do you want to talk about how we found a shield too, or no?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, now here's Kakariko Well, another good 5 checks. Good early sphere stuff. What do we got going on here? I'll tell you,
More
the
money.
seed is just holding on the money here.
Well, Kakariko, more like nothing's here, Rico. I respect Locke picking up those pots with the blue rupees, even though we have 700 something rupees.
I'll leave Kakariko with 700 rupees.
It's hard to shake the muscle memory because you usually need more rupees.
Usually at like 80, 90 something when you're going into Cackwell and you're like, oh, how am I going to pay bottle vendor now? Hey, there's a single arrow.
I mean, that's basically go mode. Just missing a couple other things. We'll be good to go.
Well, that's nice to have. See, we don't know whether that's required or not, but that's going to make some of the more challenging rooms and low percent like we have now. If Dark World decides to become a thing early on here, you know, just free.
Yeah, Bombos might be really helpful when we're doing Aga later.
Oh.
For those red guard rooms.
That might be necessary as well. If you're just joining us late, we had a standard start. Uncle gave us a sword. It was boots, and we know we have a boss shuffle. That's it.
Also, it's an Agassane.
And it's very likely an Agassane. That is true.
I mean, there's still a lot of checks left, but it's pretty likely.
Well, if we find another sword, then we can cross off vanilla swords as a possibility and circle, highlight, and underline Aga.
So the real problem here right now is this book. The book ruins all good routing this early in the game. Because you really don't want to go to desert, but you kind of do.
You know, if you read the book, it might shout loud enough, hey, I've got progression. Or it might just be a giant bait. And yet more money waiting in Mini Moldorm Cave. That's our first bottle for Locke in the dam here.
Yeah, worth noting here that Humbugh went to Mini Moldorm first and is heading over to Ice Road Cave. So we're not doing the dam with these checks, where Locke went straight to the dam.
So Humbugh's probably going to do what we usually see. Oh, they're doing the exact inverse of each other.
Yeah, so they're both splitting up these South Shore checks right between Dam and Mini Moldorm Cave, but they're going in opposite directions. Humbugh's route is a bit safer play, but Locke's is going to pay off with that fire on a desert ledge.
Is that the third time Locke's had to double back and go, wait, I need that? And to be fair, we don't know whether we need it or not still, but it's a nice item to have regardless.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to get us to the boss of Desert. We still need the club for that. But the Fire Rod does put other things in logic. For instance, Armos, I guess, is the only thing.
Or the boss it would be on Armos.
No, we have the lamp, so it doesn't even matter.
With the lamp.
How about Mothula after we kill Aga and cross the river? That's what the Fire Rod's for, clearly.
Moth and Pod?
Except it's probably not Mothula.
It's more than likely not Mothula. We have half magic sitting on the Zora ledge.
Yeah, we might see Humbugh grab that.
Or not we decide to pick that up.
He'll have to splash Elite to grab it, which he has bow and bomb, so it's not too bad. But I'm not sure if he's not going to even attempt it, so never mind. We used the bow a bit in the escape, so it might have ruined the whatever number affects that thing. And he doesn't have like a ton of bombs to reset it.
I find this interesting. He's going to desert right now to go check out whatever is waiting behind the Sahasrahla.
It's because desert is terrible.
Oh, it really is. This is like, you ignore the book because the book is that bad.
Sahasrahla is easy 3 checks. If you get something like the hammer, I think if you get the hammer, you just leave and go do Aga.
Well, that's the other thing you might get and leave.
But are we taking that to Aga?
Moon Pearl? I don't see why not. That's precisely what he's doing.
Yeah, Humbug agrees. This is an Aga seed. Let's just go do Aga. Why put it off any longer?
Why put it off at all? That is why you put it off at all.
Because there's a glove in desert. A glove and fire source in Pendant Desert.
And already having the hookshot, that is all of East Death Mountain available for Locke here.
It's really gross.
This could still pay off for Humbug if he gets goal information and is able to easily ascertain what his route's going to be.
If Humbug finds like anything from this Aga into pod play, it's going to be a long time before we see Desert from Humbug. Like mitts and flute and mirror long.
Yeah, like I'm going to go to Desert only if I'm going to go to Mire long. And I didn't see if Locke found a compass in Desert. If so, that means that we have no dungeon items shuffled. So right now it's playing like a standard seed, but we know we have a boss shuffle, and so far no one's been willing to... Well, I mean, Locke could have gone to the boss of Desert, but with this equipment, you might think twice.
I just assumed that he saw 2 items and left. But then, it might not be Lambo, too. It could be a boss that you can't kill.
Yeah, it could be... I mean, is there a boss that we can't kill right now?
Well,
we got both rods, we got bombos.
You'd have a hard time killing Trinex.
Oh, yeah. Even with 1 green potion in hand, you'd want at least a hammer or a master sword to attempt Trinex here.
Cold Stare would be doable, but not fun, I think.
Yeah, chat pointing out, if we do see Helmo, you don't necessarily need a hammer. You can use 5 bombs to slowly chip away at that mask, but those are some pretty well-placed bombs, and if he's skittering around, that could be kind of sketchy, too. So Locke is going to set up the water walk here, and follow in Humbug's footsteps. He'll see that half magic. Let's see if he picks it up.
So Locke may not be as willing to do Aga since he has that glove already, right? So when he finds the Moon Pearl, it's like, oh, I'm just a hammer or a glove away from not doing Aga. Where from Humbug's point of view, it's like, well, I have nothing to do but Aga, so might as well just do it.
I don't know. How many blue balls do you think Aga's going to throw at us?
3. It's always 3.
It's good round numbers, 3.
Brand new green potion for a Locke there.
So that's 2 in the pocket. Answering a chat question, Fire Rod was sitting on the desert ledge, so the book was pointing to at least something. But not something we necessarily need right now, so far as we know.
Yeah, Fire Rod on Desert Ledge, and then also a glove in Desert, which Humbug has not gone to get.
Yeah, Fighter Sword bosses, Fighter Sword Dark World bosses, I should say. Oh, he's going for it. He wants that half magic. And there it is.
Yeah,
Right,
3
so
arrows, 2 bombs, all you need.
Alright, so we know we have
5.
a defeat Ganon as the pyramid hole is not pre-opened, and it's 5 crystals with GT required. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll be here for a little bit. Alright, with Aga down, not much in the Dark World that Humbug can actually do. Pod is pretty much our only avenue. But we have a bow and a lamp, so almost all of it's in logic. Locke, where are you going? Are we checking Ped?
He might be going to read the pedestal just to rule out a ped goal and see if there's any progression waiting later on. We do have 2 possibly clearable Light World Pendant dungeons right now.
I mean, I'm okay with checking Ped. This seems like a really weird time to do it, I think.
I'm going to agree. There's our map check. You've got a pendant on Thieves Town and your other 5-6 at Ice Palace. And we have vanilla swords.
Vanilla swords. I mean, I guess it could still be random and just really weird coincidence.
So that means if we want tempered, because tempered's usually the line to draw for swords, a little bit stronger than master, not as overkill as the gold sword is. We're gonna have to do Hera in Ice Palace and have mitts, which is a prerequisite for ice anyway. Alright, Locke's gonna get his Moon Pearl. Let's see what he does with it.
I mean, we're gonna go into Easter.
You know, I wouldn't be too surprised. It is Green Pendant, and it is
Or, I
a
mean,
boss that we can probably kill.
The mountain too is like this huge place that Locke can also go. That Humbug can.
You know, I would have probably already been up the mountain at this point, but there's just so much left in Sphere 1 here that he's still cleaning up.
I don't... Okay. I don't think hints can be on, right?
No, hints cannot be on. I think...
Just checking.
Yeah.
just wanted to be sure.
No, hints will never be on in League settings. He's memeing. Especially since we know it's a boss shuffle, but the Randomizer flag, this is a funny looking Randomizer. Yep. You got that right, Humbug.
Yeah, we haven't seen any bosses yet. So there's like no information as to even like what variety of boss shuffle we have.
So it is 5 crystals, defeat Ganon, GT required, and we will not be able to check GT until we find ourselves another glove. So both of our runners are, one of them is in Pod, the other one is in the light side in Eastern, and neither of them has really found anything yet.
Well, they're both kind of just getting going in these dungeons. Pod especially being very backloaded.
Pod having the nickname that it has. It's always a party in the back. Because that's where all your items are. It's more money. Everything is money.
Still nothing.
You ever try to read into what's in a dungeon and go, oh, okay, well, this is latent logic then?
I don't think so.
No.
That requires a bit more brain power than I'm able to use.
At, 2:30 in the morning?
or ever. Got him. Nice arrows.
So, Pod for Humbug turning out to be completely empty.
Have we found any compasses? Like anywhere?
See, that's what I'm saying. I asked just in case I was possibly missing anything.
Because Humbug just left, not while missing both the map and the compass. But if compasses are shuffled...
And our tracker, Yoinker's wife, is letting us know, no, we haven't seen a single compass yet. And we are going to have a look at our first boss. Locke's going on the way to where Armos Knights would be.
And Locke has 2 green potions and half magic, so even if it's Trinex, it won't be a fun fight, but it's doable. Humbug, unfortunately. Oh, just a
it's
side
Cyclodorm.
orb. Cyclodorm.
It's free, basically. How can Moldorm even see where he's going with that one rattling eye?
Okay, thank goodness. Compasses are not shuffled. That would have been a trip, though, if compasses were shuffled and Humbug just left behind mitts in the pod big chest or something.
Alright, Humbug is in desert, so in a moment here he's going to have his glove. And... oh. Oh boy. That could have been our boots, though. So let's not read into that too far. Does that mean we had a vanilla Pegasus boots on Sahasrara?
No, that's because it doesn't work like that. But
yeah.
I guess we haven't seen any indication that it's not hard item pull, right?
I mean, right now Humbug has one more hard container, so it's probably not expert. That was likely either the boots or a mail. So probably hard.
More money. Why are we not going to the mountain?
This has to be it. This is the mountain play right now. Well...
Wow. Did you guys know that LockeColeLive is a creeper? You saw it here first. That lady let everyone know. Alright, Humbug does get the glove and fire rod out of desert. So I think from Humbug's point of view, you just go across the river, right? Because you want it to be a aggro required seed, because if it's not an aggro required seed, you're kind of behind.
Yeah, I think you would stick to your guns here, but it looks like he is going to go straight up the mountain now.
The other school of thought is that if it's not the mountain, right, then there's no danger in you going to the mountain because your opponent probably also did the mountain as well, which is actually what's happening for Locke right now.
Right, and even though each of them spent a little bit of time in a dungeon that, well, Locke was able to clear Eastern and didn't get much out of it, and Humbug will have to double dip pod, but already has the big key, already knows there's really nothing of value. So they're kind of time even, despite Humbug having already gone to Aga.
St. Cart.
That's our
second 20. That confirms it's not just the boots. So most likely just a hard item pool. So like no male upgrades, no butter sword. Although with vanilla swords, butter sword was kind of a pipe dream anyway.
Well, there's a nice item to find, although not really the item we're looking for. It's Keen of Samaria. So actually, this is really good for Humbug, having already done Aga. If we don't see anything up here, the last check we can do is Spiral Cave.
Yeah, if Spiral Cave is empty, then like this is just an Agaseed, and Humbug's mostly fine, if not ahead because of that Eastern dive by Locke.
And that's the joy of mystery, chat, is the runners are trying to figure it out as they play, and we're trying to figure out it as we watch. There's the 8th heart for Humbug, so those pieces of heart that are upstairs, if those are 20s, we're an expert. All right, so
I'm trying to think if there's any other indicators for the difference between hard and expert. But I think it is just the number of hearts, isn't it?
It would be. I mean,
The
green
sword.
mail,
I guess
sword.
If we get the Master Sword and the other ones turn into 20 rupees.
Yeah, but having 8 hearts and already getting more pieces, meaning we're probably in hard.
Yeah, this is not
in
expert,
fact, we're definitely
yeah.
in hard. Yeah, so hard item pool it is.
Locke really doesn't want to do Aga. I'm not sure what the fake flipper was going to be for, though. I guess he didn't do
The only
Hobo.
check he has that he didn't do, that either runner didn't do, because they both went straight to Waterfall, is Hobo.
All right, so this is just an Agaseed. So Humbug is totally fine. Got bailed out a bit there. Locke can save some time, though, after Aga if he just goes straight across the river instead of going into pod. But with that bow in hand, it's, you kind of want to do pod. It's definitely not a wrong call.
Yeah, chat is now discussing the difference between hard and expert, and there was a mention. Yes, the multi-world fork that Berserker has out there does put hard, has blue mail. In competitive play, that is not a thing. So in hard mode, you get no mails. You're on 14 hearts green with the tempered sword at best.
Yeah, they changed hard with the. Well, oh no!
Oh dear me!
You got roped, son. That's so bad luck. That's such bad luck. Wow.
You were playing Sonic the Hedgehog as a kid and you just end up way out of bounds. Well, that just happened to Humbug here, playing Link to the Past. It's not like he was trying to go fast either.
That's just like this culmination of really unfortunate events. Like the Ropa has to be in just the right spot, jumping at just the right time, and you have to be dashing on just the right frame. But if it happens, it happens, and it's so funny. Unfortunately, a bit of a time loss here for Humbug. Completely out of his control.
That's just one of those things. You get boosted at just the right angle, and you end up, clipping onto the plateau here. That's
going over the top this time. Can't blame you for that.
Hey, you go along the edge. You just kind of ignore, everything. That is out of bounds. So he's gonna do this the good old-fashioned way, as NMG players do in Rando. And yes, he did have to save and quit because he was on a cliffside you're not supposed to be able to access.
I don't know if you can actually get out of the wall without like transitioning the screen or something. Never did major glitches myself.
You catfish even having a scam of more money, so so Locke's gonna have his Aga fight, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not he goes straight to pod as well.
I mean, pot of the hole isn't like a super terrible option. Like it's likely going to be one of our 5 crystals. So the only time loss from going there is really just a double dip.
You know, careful with that, Locke. You'll put an eye out. Just a piece of heart on the bumper, so that cape was literally only for Aghanim. And we're going to see Skull Woods here from Humbug.
Just to add to what Chad's saying about the getting out of balance by accident like that, personally, as someone who doesn't really know much about major glitches at all, my instinct, if that happens to me, is just hold down select, tap down, press A. I know it's not entirely impossible to get hard locked and lose a lot more progress than you would lose just from saving and quitting.
All right, so Locke is now going to have his goal information. He knows we'll have 5 defeat Ganon. And more money on the pyramid, of course. If you're just joining us half an hour in, we are playing with a standard start. We have Vanilla Swords. It is 5 Crystal Ganon, Unknown Crystal GT. And we have a boss shuffle. And so far we've seen only one boss. That was... I've already forgotten.
Moldorm in Eastern Palace.
It was the one-eyed...
The one-eyed Moldorm, yeah. And it looks like Locke is going north here, not going into pod, so this is definitely a time save. And didn't get knocked into the boundary of the game. Another fantastic time save from Locke.
You kind of got to get in the ring there, buddy. Yeah, if you haven't done that before, it's really easy to just plain miss, especially if you're trying to just move fast.
The real challenge is to screw up enough times that you have to climb up the staircase to go grab the sign and throw that instead.
If you just run out of bushes, go off screen.
I've done that before. Like you take the bush from up above, and then you throw the bush and the rock, and you miss all 3 of them. What is happening?
All right, so Humbug will have the opportunity now to go to the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, this will be our first crystal.
There's a good number of bosses that can be in here. I think the one I'd be most afraid of right now is Vitreous.
Yeah, Vitreous definitely not a super fun fight in this room, but to be honest, there are no super fun fights in this room except for Moldorm. Oh, and Helma, but not with this equipment set.
Helma, not because the fight is fun, but the mechanics behind it are absolutely hilarious.
I think you might have a little hard time breaking the mask on the conveyor with bombs.
Yeah.
That's why I was worried about it.
Well, we've got a Cold Stare.
Cold Stare is not so bad in this room. So Cold Stare does take damage from spikes, and as you can see, we're surrounded by spikes.
And spikes do sword 4 damage, so Cold Stare, when knocked into a spike, instead of a Master Sword spin, or, the Fire Rod will also do sword 4, will take spike damage.
Yeah, the hard thing here is with our equipment set, it's hard to knock him into spikes because you can't slash the puffs with a fighter sword. But we can spin them into it. Or just, fire rod them. That also works when you have 2 green potions.
The respectful, safe way out. 2 green potions with knowledge of free potions, and literally swimming in money, you can't blame them. What was I saying about money?
More of it. Not enough.
But at 37:30, we have our first crystal on the left side of the screen. Locke is opting to check the bridge chest first here. I think you always do Moth first.
I think
you already have one item.
Was he wanted to take a death warp. Just felt a little low on heart. Figured I'd grab a chest while taking a death warp at the same time.
Now, he did grab half magic, so his cold stare fight is going to be even easier than Humbug dealt with.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if this half magic ends up playing a very impactful role in this seed. Because Humbug could have grabbed it, but would have had to do Splash Shoulder. More money! Finally, I got my wish.
How many of our 300s have we seen so far?
At least twice as many as exist. Pretty sure. Doesn't even need the green potion. Half magic. Doing work.
Now, if the conveyor actually worked on the cold stare fight, I might have been a little bit scared there, because 4 hearts is one-hit knockout range for cold stare. But
it's a little scary.
Just a little bit. And we see Humbug is rolling around with 10 hearts right now. A little bit more comfortable, but not, you know. If we had a mail upgrade, this is the kind of equipment that you would see people finish the game with. Knowing we're going to be stuck on green mail for the rest of the game, yeah, it's closer to 14, probably more comfortable. Make a few more riskier calls.
I just noticed something. 5 of our 7 crystals are hammerlocked.
Ooh. Where could that hammer be?
No, 4. 5. I gave up on counting.
I mean, Hera is currently hammerlocked unless we get a mirror. So that's 1. Pod, Swamp,
How is it counting that?
Ice.
Pod, Swamp, Ice TR. That's 4. There you go. Pod, Swamp, Ice TR.
Alright, so 4, potentially 5.
So where is this hammer? Since we need it for, like, everything.
I mean, obviously, hammer's going to be in Hype Cave, right?
Ah, another Moldorm.
And yes, chat, we have Vanilla Swords confirmed, so... won't be finding a hammer on Pet.
I mean, we only know of 2 sword locations, right?
And now we're talking about decimals.
It's possible that they were just randomly chosen. I've had vanilla swords in locations before. But yeah, it's probably vanilla swords. Oh, not even... Okay. Cool, cool.
So he said no to the back of Thieves Town. And we're going to see him go Dig Game, Stumpy, and beeline for Hype Cave. Because that's actually the richest line of items that we have available for us in the Dark World right now. I said richest. I didn't mean to spawn more rupees.
All right, Humbug continuing on over to Stumpy and then Hype Cave. Locke also fighting Moldorm. We'll see if he continues in the dungeon or not.
He did grab the key, so he may be thinking, well, there's still a couple items in here. If Moldorm doesn't drop something big, I might come back in.
I mean, you just grab the key to grab the key, don't you?
And muscle memory is muscle memory, but if you're talking muscle memory, you're not grabbing the key and then, you know, turning around and going right in the door. So that's another pendant. So he's actually fully capable of pulling the pedestal here. And we see flippers
right,
and hammer.
There's like,
oh, did I or did? Oh my goodness!
And the mushroom flippers.
It
was a little hype, I guess. I mean, usually Hype Cave's not very hype, but that was kind of hype, I guess.
I mean, that's no mode minus
There was
1, -2
there was a
possibly in
piece of
Hype Cave.
so like maximum score of 8 out of 10, right? 1/5 of the chests were worthless.
So this is... I would imagine that Humbug is just going to blow through Hera here. Or does he have other ideas? Because there is a save and quit.
Huh.
Maybe he realized with the hammer he can go finish pot?
Maybe. I don't know. What is happening?
I mean, the mirror is not strictly required for the seed. So if the mirror is in a really bad location, you might not even end up doing Hera until late. So I can see him saving Hera for last year. Although...
Is this going to pod?
It's the thing that makes me think about it is Hera's also a 5/6, so then he'd be committing to Master Sword unless he wanted to go dig through the pendants.
It was just a weird way to get to pod. I'm not sure if that's faster than the Flute 5, or I guess because you have to run there.
Well, it's kind of hard to flute by 5 without a flute.
Well, it's still flute spot 5,
Oh.
even if you don't have a flute.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's just the name of the location.
That's more of a straight line to run. So yeah, I could see that being a little bit quicker than taking the 4 portal. I don't know. And chat pointing out, yeah, we do not yet know what the crystal requirement is for GT.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah, no idea. So that, I mean, that's a good reason to come over here and get this crystal first, because you want to have the highest chance of possible of getting into GT.
Now on the league weights, the minimum requirement to enter GT on non-entrance is 3.
Right. We might see Ice Palace first then too.
At the very least, you're going to see Pod. He's already got Skullwoods. I mean, Thieves Town is 3, and... Not Thieves Town. Ice Palace would be 3. And if we decide to do Hera first for 4, that's increases your odds of being able to get in.
Well, you definitely do Hera first without the mirror.
That pot doesn't look very broken, Locke. The little fun graphical glitches you can get playing this game. Remember, this is still boss shuffle.
Yeah.
And
So
Humbug has used both of his greens.
This is where Humbug is able to make up a bunch more time, because this is not his first time here in this dungeon. So the main difference between them now is going to be that Eastern clear that Locke did, that Humbug did not.
Well,
just an Argus. Argus does hurt a little bit, but not that much.
And 2 hearts of damage, although you can pretty much stay out of harm's way. And killing Argus himself is going to be a treat here.
Why? What?
Well, you got Fire Rod, you got Ice Rod. That's considerably easier than dealing with all the Argyle.
Oh, okay, you said it in such a weird way. I thought maybe you meant something different than what I thought.
Oh, no.
It's gonna be a treat. What?
Well, so far it's proving to be. There it is. And a compass, of course. See, we knew that, he knew that, and Locke does not.
Okay, so main places to go: Ice Palace and the mountain. So naturally, we're going to turn in the mushroom first. I think Humbug is really after potions here, is the main thing.
Yeah.
This tells me we're probably going to see Ice Palace next.
You have powder, so you're not going to just leave the mushroom if you have it to turn in when you go to the witch's shop, but yeah. You're going to want some potions. Ice Palace.
I just mean like this trip is not about the mushroom. The mushroom is just like, it's the mushroom of convenience. We're really here just for blue potions.
And you got quite a lot of cash in the pocket for it as well.
And there's 20 more if you need it.
So we're probably set here unless we see a Trinex. And even then, Hammer Trinex isn't too terribly hard to pull off, and these runners are probably going to make it look a lot easier than I would.
Oh, goes out of his way to get those potions, but still goes to the mountain first? No, because we have the mountain save and quit. What is this for?
He's going to go check Sick Kid, question mark? Or is he doing Smith Chain? This is for Master Sword. He's going Smith Chain.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
Locke's in a bit of a situation with one...
Oh, no!
I had to say anything at all.
Why did you do that to Locke?
I'm so sorry, Locke.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Argus does hit, for 2 hearts of damage, which stacks up if you get hit enough times. So what happened there is Argus did his, lift off the ground thing, but he doesn't go straight up, apparently. he, goes to the top of the room and then up. So if you're standing behind him, you do get hit by it. I don't know. I don't really have a big problem with the Smith sequence right now, but I don't know, I just felt with Fire Rod and Bombos, Master Sword's not going to really do much for you in Ice Palace anyway.
Well, I'm looking at it this way. With the Master Sword, he's going to be able to check and not Orphan Ether Tablet.
Yeah, I mean, certainly makes more sense to do this before the mountain, but for Ice Palace.
Well, yeah.
And, you might get the mirror in Ice Palace, right? And then that would make this more efficient.
Alright, let's see it not be a sword, just for Koi.
Oh, that would be incredible!
Just for Koi!
If it wasn't Vanilla Swords after all. But no, it's still... It's probably Vanilla Swords. 3 out of 4.
Right, now this is Ice Palace. And this actually, it kind of makes sense depending on who you're going to see in Ice Palace, because this is going to make a Trinex fight a little bit easier.
That's true. I didn't think about it being boss shuffle. Yeah, a lot of bosses having the Master Sword makes a big difference.
Again, we have Hammer for bosses like Trinex and Helma, but having that Master Sword for Blind, for Helmasaur, even Mothula makes it easier.
Stop standing behind him. Every time.
Alright, well, he is still going to dispatch Argus here.
Okay, we got it this time.
Get his second crystal. Why aren't you in the league, Koi? Come on.
Nobody asked me to join their team, and I'm shy. Don't worry. I would be a really bad teammate anyway. I'd refuse to play all the bad modes, and I wouldn't use Quick Swap. Nobody would want me.
So now we have Locke going up the mountain. So Locke's going to go check out what the requirement is for GT.
Clip it, clip it. You can do it. There you go.
Those feelings when you go to buffer your icebreaker and you get the 2-frame.
So it's really awesome when you do like the super optimal icebreaker where you just go boom boom out and you're done, right? But icebreaker is so powerful that even if it takes you like 30 tries, you're still saving a ton of time. You know, optimal will be better, but it's still worth.
So Locke has decided to go to Hera before Ice, so it means he's going to be able to pick up a Sword of Pyramid Fairy later on. And the big key is in the basement, so we're going to see him go for Herapod here, I would imagine. I don't usually see the 2-bomb setup. A lot of people are doing hook speed these days.
Yeah, I think for some people it's just whatever you learned first. And if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. With having multiple ways to do similar glitches in different areas of the game.
This is new. I've never seen someone do this before.
So, something I learned in practice this past week, if Vitreous does show up in Moldorm's arena, you can absolutely abuse this outer rim ledge to throw bombs down and just hammer away at the eyeballs as they come at you.
That's pretty awesome.
You can also use the bow, because the bow's altitude doesn't matter.
Like, yeah, I usually see people use the bow from the side, like shooting horizontally, because all the eyes come from the same orientation.
Right, so these eyes are going to be a little offset, and Locke has all this room to work with, plenty of real estate. So you have a lot of free space. And now
that was really
just
good hammering. I'm super impressed.
Yeah, sometimes the hammer doesn't want to hit in just the right spot, and it gets kind of tangled up in everything else going on. And you take a hit from those eyeballs, they hurt.
Is that an item in the big chest?
We had a shield in the basement, a key. I don't remember what was in the compass chest. So he's going to read this ether tablet.
Oh, we didn't
There's
do
really
the
not
compass
much
chest.
we can. Oh, he just went through the dungeon. So there's bombs on ether.
That's a spicy call.
There's really not too much you could possibly want here. What do we need for go? Possibly a flute, possibly a mirror, and we already know where our swords are. So the only thing that really hurts is if that's ether and it's locking you out of 2 crystals. And one has progression for another dungeon. I just realized if you can get in, they can do Turtle Rock here too.
Yeah, pretty good chance too, with 2 out of 3 medallions.
And we can, and we will open that front door.
Oh, here's your spin speed Herapod. Wow,
that was smooth as butter.
That was very slick indeed. And we will get a look at that compass chest. Just more rupees. We don't have enough.
Probably a boss heart.
Locke going over here to check GT before going into 5 crystal.
Oh, it's 5/5.
Okay, so no GT. What? Okay.
Saving Turtle Rock for last. Humbugh is going to opt for this side strat. This is a little riskier, but once you get some of these eyeballs out of the way, the fight becomes a little bit more manageable. Just don't take another one of those.
Those eyes do hurt.
I mean, he also has the cape if you wanted to go in and not risk taking a shot.
Oh, just a little too late though.
That's 2 for me now. I need to shut up.
Why do you do this to the runners? I don't know what you have against our runners today, but
Absolutely nothing,
it's a
because they would
little
mop the floor
uncalled
with me.
for.
Okay, it's 1 for
Yeah, so
1. I've evened the
unfortunately,
count. I'm not doing it again.
this can take even the most experienced runners off guard, but there is a small delay between switching to the cape and actually being able to use it. And I think Humbug was just expecting to have a little bit more time before that eye got to him.
And when Humbug sees the 5 crystal GT, I do think he will go ahead and go into Turtle Rock and call this a seed.
Just
So I'm
swipe.
actually
Why are you not
curious.
swiping?
Well, Locke is currently picking up a Master Sword.
I'm not sure why he wasn't just swiping with the Master Sword there to
It's just
save the magic.
Yeah, the cape. Because the way the cape works is as long as you're swiping, your magic doesn't go down anywhere near as fast.
As long as it dies, that's all that matters, right?
The perfect number of arrows.
I'm very surprised that we didn't see TR here.
You want TR2 Hera?
No, from Locke.
Oh, from Locke, yeah.
Like he left the mountain without doing TR, even though it's a crystal dungeon and you can full clear it.
I feel like he wants Tempered, or he wouldn't have done Hera before Ice. Although Hera also had all that information too. Because it was going up there to the dungeon made sense to go check GT at the same time. So now he knows he's in 5. Humbug's effectively in go mode here.
No. What?
He's got 4 crystals.
Wait, how many crystals do we have?
We're in 5-5.
Oh, right. Okay, I was miscounting.
So there's some guy in chat named Andy, and he said something I think Humbug might show us here. Is you go into TR and then you go to GT, and if GT opens, you just do it, and you're done. Have you heard of this guy, Andy? Know anything about him?
I think he streams while I'm asleep. Yes, of course I've heard of Andy. It'll be silly.
Just checking.
I don't know how worth Tempered really is. I guess with Master Sword Silverless, it's pretty worth.
It's worth for the climb. It does save some time on the climb, and it's also potentially worth just for Ganon.
Pyramid Fairy is really slow, though.
It really is. And I know from personal experience, Humbug has no problem doing Master Sword Silverless, so as I see it right now, it's kind of his race to lose in this position. He just doesn't realize that yet. First time I played
here in Ice Palace.
The first time I played Mystery on the Ladder was one of these late night kind of games. The second time I had my first ever entrance seed in Expert against Humbug.
And you won?
Oh no, he mopped the floor with me by 90 minutes.
Oh. Oh, okay. I knew it was one or the other. right, Humbug bypassing a little bit of danger there. Doesn't die to change off. That's good.
And that's where having those blue potions comes in handy. Now, we haven't seen the bug net, but the powder's still there to give us a little boost if you see an anti-fairy or a bunny beam somewhere along your path and you're looking a little weary.
You need the arrows.
Oh dear. Yeah, one of those pots
I mean,
there has 5 arrows.
We'll probably find some arrows in GT. We usually just find some arrows in GT. But good practice, you want to pick up that pot when you need arrows, you guys.
Yeah, he's rolling around with 1 arrow, and Locke has 3 arrows right now. So he's in a similar situation here.
So Chad asks, why would he check the lava chest? It's because the Humbug doesn't know that he's in go mode. He doesn't know what the... Oh, now we get the arrows. Okay. Did he hear me? So weird. What was I saying?
Locke with the hook shot, locking him on the spot, and a moblin just walks right into his hitbox.
Rip Tempered Sword.
So Tempered Sword is now... I mean, while it could be time gained and a little bit of comfort going forward, that's not a small amount of time lost.
Anyway, so Humbug doesn't know that he's in go mode until he finds out what the crystal requirement is for GT, which could be 6 or 7 from his point of view, in which case he would need more items. But as soon as we finish TR, he'll run over there, and we'll know for sure. He'll know for sure.
Alright, so there's no skipping Laser Bridge today. There's going to be a whole lot of boot skipping on Laser Bridge, I would imagine.
Locke playing it real safe here. There we go. That's not real safe. That's real safe.
Real
there
safe.
We go. Okay. We got this.
And that's our 3rd shield on Laser Bridge.
Oh, there's Steve from down. Laser to the face, not feeling good.
And he is going to pull the cape out for this last check, and it's more money.
Waits for the delay.
Ooh, I want to see him do what I would do here. Yes. So we're going to fake real powder. There's something particularly meta about doing that.
I like how he tried to place a Samaria block right after he fake powdered.
I mean, he real fake powdered.
Fake powder?
Fake powder with real powder. Vanilla Trinex!
Is this even a boss shuffle seed?
There's that hammer Trinex I was talking about earlier, making it look real easy on the left head. Not even gonna get the floor wet. Oh, really going to Pound Town on that head there. 3 shots before he became vulnerable in the center segment. And
yeah,
that's
nice
our 5th crystal for Humbug. And while he doesn't know it, he's going to be going into Ganon's tower.
Now, Locke does have this sword advantage, which could absolutely come into play. There is a big time difference between Master Sword Soloist and Tempered Soloist. I can't imagine Humbug is going to go out of his way to get Tempered once he finds out he's in Go mode.
We also have the potential for boss shuffle being rude or very nice, for that matter, up on the GT climb itself, where that Tempered Sword may come in handy for Locke, but also he has half magic. So there's still time to see whether or not that comes into play.
Swords are vanilla, so Tempered Swords, if they want them, are at Pyramid Fairy and Pedestal.
See, you said it, and it happened. We got errors in GT.
Are we supposed to do the big key guessing game? Or are we not doing that this week?
I don't believe we're doing it this week because you can't guarantee that the big key is going to be in GT in the first place.
Well, it's
You can play if you want, but the answer is 3.
To the two of you who guessed, you're wrong. Wow. Try harder next time.
I want to see the chat filled with 3s. Let's do it. Come on, chat.
Congratulations, Jake Hoper. You were the first person to guess the correct location. I'm thinking from Humbug's point of view, like, the Pyramid Fairy is really slow compared to just stepping forward and dropping down again and after fighting Agatu, right? And the only time save is from the Ganon fight itself.
Right, so
I don't have any hard numbers though to tell you like which is actually better.
Some of it has to go down to player skill. Humbug is very good in this situation.
Yeah, like
and I would have to imagine that he's going to be comfortable no matter what he does here going forward. He does have 2 blue potions still waiting in the wings as well.
Yeah, I think if I was Humbug, I would just drop down and fight Ganon with the Master Sword.
And I don't think Locke ever went to Potion Shop, so he's got nothing to work with here. Just powder. So he's in full-on glass cannon mode, and he has a couple less heart containers than Humbug does to begin with. Yeah, chat pointing out he does have a green, so if he had any greens left over from the first couple bottles, he has at least 1 green. So he'll be able to do some pretty fast and loose strats going up through the gauntlet here. Although
that was really good RNG
Humbug
there.
is making this look real easy.
That was all RNG there.
It really was.
So the Master Sword doesn't one-shot those red Zazaks. It's 2 hits, but both of his dashes and his swipe or whatever knocked the Zazak into a spike, so it ended up being 1 hit.
And that goes down again to how their walk cycles are calculated. They can go absolutely the wrong way on the conveyor and just elude you entirely. But we didn't see that here, so Humbug lucked out quite a bit there.
Let's see Locke having a much easier time with this Trinex fight. Saving time every step of the way, having Tempered Sword over Master. But Humbug already halfway up the gauntlet here. Is it enough?
This is going to be a lot closer than it currently looks like if Locke decides to go left.
Yeah, there was a key in Hope Room. It's a very common route to check Hope Room first, and if you get a key, to continue to the right. But, you might also go left first, like what you're saying, and even save that time on Hope Room. I'm going to open these chests here. Silvers would make all the difference.
I'm not saying anything because it's more money, and if I say something, it's going to be even more money.
Doesn't even matter what you say. It just happens.
You get Helma on Moldorm too. This is actually an interesting situation because Helma doesn't like to be very friendly with how he walks, and the shape of this platform is really kind of awkward, as you see. And actually, we didn't talk about this. The mirror not being in our pocket does go into play, so Locke is going to pick up that key, and then go left because it's a higher density of checks, and find the big key right away.
There goes the mask. Don't fall. Wow. Ooh, we're still alive.
And the final check of the game is just more arrows.
I wonder if there's any consideration for dropping down after opening the chest to powder one of those antivirus. Probably not worth since you have a potion.
Yeah, he's got still one more potion, so he's good.
I'll get in a little trouble in this room. There we go.
And now Locke has entered his gauntlet, and he's gonna be probably just a minute or two behind Humbug here.
Oh, yeah, a little bit more than that.
Oh, Locke, please be
Especially
careful.
if you die, don't die. Want it to be close.
And
I
as a
don't
reminder,
think,
anything can happen here.
Yeah, I don't think Locke has a heal in those potions.
No, he's got the powder here, and that doesn't hurt with Moth in the next room.
All right, dropping down again at 1:15:45 or so.
Alright, this is a Master Sword Silverless fight for Humbug. That is 12 spins phase 1, 12 spins phase 2, 4 spins for phase 3 because it's always 4 hits, and then 24 spins with the Master Sword to finish off this fight.
Yeah, I think Humbug definitely has a clear advantage, but you use all your potions because you keep walking into tridents, and it's gonna change.
Ooh boy. And
Yeah,
Locke also
he wants
sitting on
to
one heart
save
again.
that potion. The potion would allow him to use more fire rod triples in the last phase, which saves a significant amount of time.
Locke, you missed the torch twice. Oh boy.
That's pretty much the worst position to start with here. Yeah, it takes a death.
I mean, being in this situation with, you're not going to have more than 11 hearts, that's only good enough for a couple hits. I think he's going to come down here, just take the ferry. Or is he actually going to go all the way...
Or the sword, rather.
Well, he's in Dark World.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be in the Dark World to get the...
So, well, yeah. So he's going to come get tempered.
bomb.
And this is an opening that Locke needs to kind of catch up, and he also needs a decent Ganon fight at that. And to not take a hit here, because one of these traps will kill him. Okay, we're good.
Still alive. Wait, you could open the chest, Locke.
I don't think he's expecting anything
What
good
if
out of
it
that
was
chest.
silvers?
I don't like this. Pulling the hammer out for Helma on Moldworm 2.
You just want to do it from below, not the side like that. And be real careful with the fireball patterns is all.
Yeah, And chat pointing out something that you and I should both know, Koi. There are no silvers in hard item pool.
Are there not?
They're not. You're stuck
I
on.
didn't. I did not know that. Well, that's the worst time to fall.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Well, at the very least, he gets all his HP back with the powder here, but this is now Humbugg's going to be going into the Ganon fight with Tempered Sword. So this is the strongest you can be offensively in this mode, and I think any runner of this caliber in Invitational is going to have an easy time at this fight.
Locke changing his strat here, switching over to bombs. Doesn't have a ton of them to work with.
And I think he misfired on one or two of them, so he's going to have to go back to Hammer, as there's his last bomb there.
Just an easy 15 quick swaps away is that hammer. Humbug already getting into trouble on this Ganon fight, having to use that potion.
Is absolutely fine here. He got the 1-1. He's in phase 3. He's got a full magic meter and a lamp. I like to see him be aggressive, pull out the fire rod, and get some triples.
Oh yeah, you have plenty of magic to work with. As long as you get the torch glitch.
And we're still going to see a pretty close match here because Locke is just met up with Aga. So he's going to be a Ganon fight behind. Silly Ganon, this isn't SMZ3.
Easy triples every time.
Alright, and Locke will be falling into the Ganon pit in about 1:20 and 30 seconds. But that's just late enough for Humbug to have already finished. Let's get some GGs in chat for Humbug.
GG.
Humbug finishing with an official time on race time of 1:20 and 38 seconds. And now Locke having his dance with the big pig. With half magic and cape, this is literally free. And we are joined by Humbug here in commentary. GG, Humbug.
GG, good morning.
Good morning. Did you sleep all right?
Actually, I did. I went to bed real early, like an adult, and I got my breakfast and my cup of coffee, and yeah, then this happened.
This is definitely a coffee type of seed, although it finished up pretty quickly for you guys here.
Yeah, it was free once you got to Hype Cave. I haven't seen Hype Cave that loaded in a long time. So much, in fact, that it took me like 30 seconds to realize that I was actually probably in go mode. So well, you probably saw that. I started running away, save and quit to Link's house, save and quit to Mountain, then save and quit again to Link's house, before like figuring out what kind of route I wanted to take. I don't think it was a very good route, though. I probably should have done Hera first into Pyramid Fairy to get the Tempered Sword, but I don't know.
I wanted the Master Sword serverless.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
No, not like that.
I barely tried, though. I was like, well, I had to waste the potion on Vitreous because I was dumb and reckless. So, nah, not now. So I didn't know if Locke was finished or not when I died. So I just, what the heck, I'll just
yeah, it was just one of those screw it situations.
Exactly, and I figured that it would be like it would even out. I'm not sure exactly what's the fastest, but when...
Yeah, I have no idea.
maybe one should time that sometime, but I don't know.
For
It was
all the-
nice. It
for
was nice.
Our
to get-
Vanilla Swords tournament that's gonna come up next year, I bet.
Ooh, yeah. When is that coming?
Everyone's favorite swords.
And we
Please-
we did
please
just
no.
we did just see Locke finish on screen. They finish up with a race time of 1:22 and 50, and they're here in the
GG.
chat. GG Locke.
Thank you. That was something else.
So actually, Humbug, Locke did exactly what you just said you might want to do. Is he went up to Hera and then got Master before going to Ice Palace and grabbed Tempered before going back up the mountain. But the real difference here is he did Eastern Palace and you did not.
Yeah, we talked about that in the chat, and that's a bummer.
I'm actually not gonna lie. If I had done Desert 2, I would have felt so much better. I would have just pulled the pet for a Master Sword there. Pulled a pet for Master Sword, got it right down, got Tempered, then gone on with my day.
So at any point during this seed, we know it's mystery. We had a pretty good hunch early on that we had, Vanilla Swords with one on Uncle. Is there anything that may have crossed your minds as you started moving through and quickly realized this was an Aga seed? Anything that might have been a concern going forward?
For me, I felt real bad when I saw half magic on Zora Ledge, and I was thinking about doing a stored water walk to grab the item in case it was something, but then it was half magic. And half magic is awesome in Randomizer, especially in boss shuffle. But I never went for it because I didn't know the goal, and I figured it could be like a pedestal goal, or it could be something else, and then it wouldn't be worth it anymore. So, I'm a bit pissed about that. But other than that, I felt okay, I guess. It was a fun seed. I enjoyed it.
I needed the seed to be stupider. I needed cross keys with some more enemy shuffle and some something stupider than just this.
Yeah,
Converted AD cross keys with convertible keys and
give me all this dumb crap because I did one practice seed earlier today and it was universal keys, wild big keys, all this other stuff. I'm like, I like this. This one 5/5 defeat Ganon. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Koi, when are you hosting the inverted cross keys tournament? Except for when you're done with the Vanilla Swords tournament.
That's 2022.
2022. Okay, cool.
So Humbug, exactly how upset were you when Pod was empty? And you realized, oh my god, what if it wasn't an Aga seed?
Yeah, I was pretty mad. I mean, the pod was bow locked too.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, either this bow is for Eastern boss or it's for all of pod. But I guess it was for neither.
Yeah, I mean
it was for GT.
Yeah, exactly. It was for GT, but
that was
who cares
it.
about that?
Because I think I got into the pod. I was like, I could potentially be in go mode. I'm just gonna go mode this pod as soon as I grab this big key. So I'm just gonna go mode everything, go up the mountain, check to see if I actually need any more crystals for GT. So it worked out in my favor there.
It was really
the back of pod wasn't fun. Yeah, it was. It was
because this is obviously an Aga seed. It was obviously an Aga seed by the time we were halfway through Kakariko, and then you kill Aga and there's nothing, and it's just Glove and Fire Source and Pendant Desert.
And the early book and the desert plays feels like.
I did that 12 minutes in.
Yeah, Locke went there before Mini Moldorm Cave. Just
oh, really?
To highlight how spicy that routing.
Wow!
I did that 12 minutes in. I'm
that's amazing. I love that.
I was like, I can do Mini Moldorm all this stuff later. I'm gonna hit Agina up, with this book because might as well. I see the fire out in Desert Ledge. I'm like, nice. They're clearing Desert Glove. Nice.
The way it worked out ended up punishing you. Because when Humbug finds the Moon Pearl in Sahasrar's side, it's like, okay, well, it's just an Aga seed. I'll just go do Aga because it's obviously Pod's the answer. But when you found the Moon Pearl, it's like, well, I'm just a hammer or a glove away from not doing Aga. Yeah, let's clear Eastern.
Yep. And then I tried to go for the splash delete to go to Hobo again, just in case I could have skipped it there. And then because I beat Eastern, couldn't do that. So I was just like, all right, gonna go beat Aga.
The fast way to do it is just drop bombs into the water. If you hit Y 3 times, but drop 2 bombs in the water, it'll reset your value.
Okay.
Ah,
Good to
good
know.
to know.
Yeah.
But
So
you
I-
have to have that extra bomb though. Like you have to attempt to place the 3rd bomb, but it won't let you.
Gotcha.
So I had remembered something I wanted to ask humbugh specifically. So how'd you feel when that Ropa decided to knock you all the way up a cliff?
Oh right, yeah, that must have been pretty funny.
It was really funny.
It's I'm not sure what the odds are for that actually happening, but since I mean, sure, I could have just jumped down the cliff, but I figured that I was out of bounds, and that's not allowed. So
it's only not allowed if it saves time, I think.
I know, but then it comes to the kind of arbitrary decision of does it save time or not. So I just figured, screw it, I'll just save and quit and do it again. It has happened to me before, but it's I mean, I was just laughing. It was really funny.
I think that's only happened to me like twice ever.
Yeah, I think this was the second time for me.
I'm like 2,500 seeds into this game. It's only happened twice, so it's really low chance.
It's really low chance, and when it happens in a tournament race, aw.
Say chat saying it's called the lottery for a reason. And now that I've seen it happen, I know how to never do it ever.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop doing the dash straight east.
I mean,
Anyway,
we all steal the small key when in Go mode TR, right?
Yeah.
This is way lower chance than getting messed up there.
yeah.
I just
I
noticed our collection rate. Sorry, go ahead.
The same. I don't have the stream up.
Actually, Locke has 18 less checks than you.
Yeah.
18 less.
Yeah. Well, it's the back of Pod. That's the back of Thieves Town. All of upstairs GT. I don't know if
You skipped the compass chest in Hera.
Yeah.
It's okay, you only missed a green
20. Yeah, it was 20 rupees.
Okay, because I figured at that point, I knew it was a hard item pull really early on, so I knew no blue mail, no swords, no shields, like nothing could actually help me, so I just started skipping everything.
Actually, there was one that you opened the checks in Mini Helma, but then you didn't do pre-Moldorm.
I thought I skipped that.
Did you open any checks? I don't remember if you just mentioned the top of GT.
I don't think I checked the top of GT. I actually don't remember anymore.
I got
Yeah,
them all.
me either. We just watched him and we don't remember. It was okay. The other thing, this scene was just loaded with money. Look at these rupee counts:
Yeah.
1,005 for Locke, 875 for Humbugh. Neither of you are finishing with any healing potions.
Well, that's
You
because I
used
used
them all?
all of mine.
Oh, mine were
'Cause I
free.
kept dying.
I'm with Koi here. I wanted to see that Master Sword Silverless.
No. Hate it, no.
I meant it
If I
more.
could
Like, I
prevent
thought that would be the faster option because Pyramid Fairy just feels so slow. But thinking about it, it's probably not that big of a difference either way.
It's a
And
big
the
difference
tempered
when you
fight's
die.
way easier.
And in this case, the faster option is the safer option. If you want to spend the extra minute to go get tempered, if that makes your Ganon fight easier, faster, safer, absolutely every time.
Also makes the gauntlet easier too. I hate Master Sword Gauntlet.
Forget Master Sword Gauntlet, Fighter Sword Gauntlet with a sword at the top.
Oh, trust me, I know.
We could have
I've
seen
done
that
so
tonight.
many- I've
You
done
have
so
no
many
reason-
stupid mystery seeds that I've done like everything.
I mean,
You name it, I've probably done it.
It's Mystery Week. I don't think any of us have any room to complain. And now that this game is in the books, we have 80 keys to look forward to next week. Any thoughts from either of you two?
Woohoo! 80 keys.
Chelsea, fellas, get a win. We need one.
Yeah. A win is always nice, whether you need it or not, and you guys could use a win.
At this point, we're competing with OP Got Good of who's doing the worst in the tournament.
Could be like me down and open. I had the only win of my team as a sub, and it was by 15 seconds in a game that I threw. So you're doing better, I promise.
Yeah, I just gotta say that this match was, while it was for the league here, this was also a prestige match in another way.
You got your revenge.
And
against-
Locke, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, you guys got your revenge for that. You're welcome.
Don't tell me.
Thank you.
Don't tell me. You two got paired in ladder tonight, didn't you?
No, we did
No.
not.
No,
The thing
no.
is that in a side tournament, in a side mystery tournament, Locke, like in the previous season of that tournament, Locke managed to kick out all 3 members of Forfeiters or Us in one weekend in a row. In a row. Yeah.
2 of them were back to back.
2 of them were back to back, exactly. So first he kicked me out, then he kicked Residator out, and finally kicked Adopted out. In a row.
So much
in the
fun.
No.
Okay, it wasn't fun for you, but it was so much fun for me.
It was humiliating for all of us. But I just gotta say, I'm happy I got my revenge. So from Forfeiters or Us to Locke, thank you, we're even.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm out of things here. Koi, you got anything for Humbug and Locke before we close this out?
No, it's about bedtime.
Yeah, it is. It's going on 4 Eastern, so if you were up late with us or up early in the case of, parts of Europe, thanks for joining us on this one. Thank you to Koi for some commentary. And the runners, GG once again.
Yeah, GG.
Thanks for staying up till 4 in the morning if you're Eastern to re-stream and track and commentate this race.
It was a
Yeah,
fun
huge
race.
shout outs to Yoinker's wife for tracking for us tonight as well. And keeping us honest with a few comments on the side here as we were going through the seed that, as we said, it was rich. A lot of rupees to track tonight. But keeping track of everything else in case we missed it, because a couple times, it's hard to keep track. Well, that sounds like it's going to do it for us tonight here on Speed Gaming. And just a reminder, the Mystery Week is going on all weekend long. We've got games across the board, both invitational and open. So keep an eye on Speed Gaming 1 through 6, the foreign language channels, and a Link to the Past Randomizer League channels for some more action as we close out Week 5 here. And I'll let Koi finish us up here for the night.
Guys, make sure to stay tuned to the Speed Gaming channels for more speed running fun. Our next league match will be in about 5 hours on SG3, so be sure to stay tuned for Schultzer versus Catobat. Until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. Until next time. Bye-bye, everybody.